Hey, today on Matt's Workbench, we're restoring a pretty well-loved Gamecube Wavebird controller. So let's get started. My nephews gave me this Gamecube Wavebird controller, and they gave it to me specifically to restore here on the channel. And so I think it'd be a good idea. I mean, no battery corrosion in here. So yeah, one bad thing is the thumbstick here, the little grip is gone. This is pretty nasty. It's kind of dirty. It's shiny. And it's a little yellow. To give you an example, here's another Wavebird controller that I have, and this is not perfect either. I mean, this stick is yellowed quite a bit, and oh well, this one's not really clean either. But you can certainly see the difference here. So how close can we get this back to looking new? I don't know. We'll find out. So let's start with kind of taking it apart. I'm a little scared to take this apart because of these shoulder buttons could be a little complex. And we'll see. I've never taken apart a GameCube controller before, so we're going to dive in. You got to have the tri-wing screwdriver bits in here. Get that nice crack when these are never been taken apart before. Oh man, that one's tight. There we go. Yeah, and these last ones here are going to be a good time because I can't... Oh, wait. Ah! It does reach. That's lucky. I really didn't think that was going to happen. Okay, no screws on the inside. Let's see. So it looks like, yeah, the whole front comes off there. Nothing looks too scary so far. Pretty standard. Let's go ahead and get our buttons out. And all the screws are the same. Man, this might be easier than I thought. It never goes that way. Here's our D-pad. Whew. She's a little crusty. On-off switch. There. She sure looks good on the inside. And then we've got the D-pad contacts, start pause contact, micro switch there. Now, can we pull this circuit board out without doing major damage to the shoulder buttons? Yes. Very interesting. So, I never knew this. I never knew how how these things worked. But the GameCube controllers, I guess apparently there's little potentiometers here. As you pull down on the trigger, it pushes that down and then back up. So we'll need to make sure that we get those back in these holes correctly, which I think if we just make sure these are pushed all the way up, when we reassemble we should be good. I'm not going to go so far as to take these out. I don't think. You got your little contact pads in there for L and R for when you fully depress. So if you look here, you can pull it a little bit, and then when you finally fully depress it, that's when it pushes your L and R button and hits these little pads on the back. Pretty sophisticated controller design. Not gonna lie, I like it. Never seen the inside of a GameCube controller, nor have I've seen a Wavebird controller. Here's your channel selector. That's in pretty good shape, not too grunged up. Obviously, these sticks are a big part of this restoration. Can we get these, just pull these off? Yeah. So those will just pull off. And, hair. And that's, so then you look at these sticks here. Pretty interesting. It's almost like the opposite of what I've seen on N64 controllers. So certainly a lot of cleaning that we can do there. Get that a little less grimy. But these sticks appear to be exactly the same. And then our replacements, I have some replacement sticks. Look at that. That looks pretty good. And then replacement C-stick as well. Now, I do kind of like the texture on this one a little bit better than some of these replacement ones. They have the rubber tips on them. It's kind of smooth, whereas the original has a little bit of a texture to it that I kind of like, but I think we might just go ahead and go with these just because they are in so much better shape. Yeah, you can see there's a little difference in the profile, but not too bad. I don't know. We might try to clean this, see if we can get that clean. If we can, we'd reuse this stick, but obviously this guy is toast. So step one's going to be really just washing all of the plastic bits here. There's no real, I mean, this is just springs and stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and wash it as it is. Can we? Yeah, maybe we should take these out just because that might help us wash it a little bit better, more thoroughly. Let's take these out. We're going to switch from the tri-wing screwdriver to just a regular Phillips. So it's a little bit more involved than I thought it would be. That should still come out okay. Okay, this is got a little retainer on here to help that slide up and down evenly. We're going to pop that loose. These are okay. Still pretty clean. But this way we can just get it, you know, nice and really just drench these things and get them clean. You know, I think there's definitely some yellowing going on here to this plastic just from exposure, but we may be able to clean this up quite a bit. I don't know that we're going to get it back to this gray, but we'll try. Should we retrobrite this? We'll see. Maybe we'll get there. Alright, so let's go get all these different pieces. That. Whoa, we got some buttons that I just threw on the floor. Here's your start button. Here's your switch. L. And these are all new. These we can just kind of wipe clean. Okay, let's go wash these off and yeah, then see what we got to work with here. Alright, so we're doing a little stovetop retrobrighting. And, I mean, you want to be pretty careful when you're doing this, because you do not want to overheat your plastic in there. Right now, the peroxide, hydrogen peroxide in there, is it's not super warm. It's probably maybe 100 degrees right now. We're going to try to add a little bit more heat and just try to get some of the yellow out of this and try to get her back to normal. So we'll see. I don't know how well that's going to work. And it keeps wanting to float to the top, so I want to try to keep this submerged without really just letting it sit on that hot metal that's underneath. I got some tin foil just trying to insulate it a little bit, but it is a little bit sketch. So we're going to take her easy and see how it goes. Well, I'm definitely not the best at retrobrighting, but I think this came out pretty good. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but there's still a little bit of yellowing here. But I mean, if you compare that to our controller that we had before, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but boy, it's a lot better. And better than it was is usually what I'm going for. So, so let's, I think now, let's just try to reassemble this thing. And oh, I forgot. Yeah, we got to get this this board cleaned up here a little bit too, don't we? Let's just grab some alcohol and just try to get some of those crusties out of there. Yeah, I don't think this stuff is on there too thoroughly. Yeah, it's coming off pretty easily, but look at that. Ugh. Nasty. Nasty. You know, just people, our hands are grungy and grimy, and yeah, it's alright. It's almost like we are perfectly manufactured to transmit disease. Let's get a little down here. We don't need to make it perfect. No one's going to see this except you and me. But I just can't bring myself to put something back together that is that yucky, you know? Got a long hair in there. I wonder what it is. Is this Campbell's soup? Man, I don't know. I don't think it'll hurt it to run down inside that potentiometer, but if there's any type of like lubrication down there or something, don't want that to end up in there. Okay, we're getting close here. Yeah, it looks almost like something got spilled on this at some point and just kind of ran down over that joystick. I'm gonna say it's Campbell's chunky soup. This guy's pretty gross here too. It's not as bad. Still a little nasty. I can get in here. Yeah, this one's a lot better than the other one. Alright, that's cleaner than it was. Better than it was. Again, the motto that we're going for. Let's see. Let's put our triggers back in. Remember to snap this little bar back in. Whoa. And then this guy. How did this go back on? Oh yeah, okay. Maybe. Whoa. Now it's stuck. Okay. Let's go in. We've got to stick that through. There we go. This will rest down in that little notch there. Okay. And then this should just sit right on top here. And we still have our button action there. Nice. Okay. So let's get our screws put back in. We don't have to send this to the moon. So we're going to tighten it down until we feel some resistance. And then just barely snug it up. Because once you strip it out, then you got to figure something else out. Okay, that one's good. And let's pop this in. Oh, and we slid out. Okay. Patience. Alright, this needs to slide back in here. There we go. Let's try it again. And let's try to not send this spring flying. There we go. Okay. And we're going to try to feed that in here. It's going to get right over that hump there. Okay. That'll sit down like that. And this the GameCube controller, ever since I first held this thing at a store kiosk when the GameCube was just coming out, I always felt like, man, it was such a comfortable controller. Hold on, I gotta get this started. There we go. I was always very impressed with the way it felt and the way the handles felt, the triggers. It's like it was meant to be in your hand the whole time. And I would say still to this day, probably the most comfortable controller. Okay, so we got that on. And we need to make sure that these sliders are all the way up, as they are. And I apologize about the camera angle here, but we're going to have to... We got to line up these battery terminals and these switches, and then everything has to kind of sit back down into these little holes. So, just going to take a little gentle caress. So, like, see, this doesn't fit. There we go. That fell right in there. Are those working? I can't tell. I think maybe they are. It's very difficult to tell. Okay, so let's put our buttons back in here. And let's see. I don't know. This is as well as this stick was able to clean up, which is not bad. But I think we're going to go ahead and use the new stick anyway. It's just brighter and shinier. So, so let's go ahead. Let's get our buttons put in. Let's not get distracted here. All right, we got our Y button and our X button. Start. The D-pad, which has a little flat side here. So which side does that go on? I can't tell. Let's say it goes this way. Okay. Our A button. I love that everything is keyed. And these guys are always shoulder buttons, man. And so you want to make sure you don't get, there's a little metal tab and you don't want that to slide under this plastic. You want it to rest right on top so you got some good spring action. I say this like I've opened a, a controller before. We're making it all up. Okay, let's go down. Yeah, because that is down. Our on-off switch. Okay, so I guess we slide our controller sticks on now. Okay, here's our new one of these. A little harder because you can't really obviously see where your little key is to slide onto the stick. There we go. Okay, so let's see if we can keep this all together. Maybe. Ah. Oh no, something doesn't feel right. Yeah, we're not quite lined up here. What are we missing? You know what the problem is. We forgot to put our pads back in there. Oh, come on, man. It's the simple things. Let's clean these off too. I want to say I've washed these all together in the sink before, like completely submerged them and ended up okay, but it's been a long time and I don't want to mess this up. These Wavebirds are so cool. I don't want to do anything that could possibly jeopardize that. Yeah, that looks much, much better. Much, much better. Okay, and this is going to go on here. Where's our little locator pin? Does it go like this? I do believe so. And this should be for our D-pad. I can't believe I forgot those. That's funny. And then our start button. Even that one's dirty. This controller is well loved. Okay, once again, let's see if we can get this to line up. And we got a little micro switch here. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. Hey, that feels a lot better. Much better. Okay, let's put the screws in and test it out and see if it works. Need to switch back to our tri-wing screwdriver. And I always like to start in the middle, you know, and then go out. So let's start with these guys here. Get a good grip on that. You don't want to cross thread these, but there we go. Sometimes you do have to put just a little bit of torque into them to get them to bite. And all of our screws appeared to be the same. So let's go up here by our trigger buttons. Bottom. Let's just do one at a time. Let's put these two grungy ones in the that are buried deep down in there. Let's do it that way. I always like to turn them backwards and then feel them kind of fall into the threads. That way you know you're not cross-threading anything. Alright, and the last two. Man, what game should we test this out with on the GameCube? That's a really good question. I don't know. We got Smash Bros. We could do some Mario Kart. F-Zero. We should do F-Zero. That'd be good. Man, F-Zero on the GameCube is so good. Man, I cannot tell. There we go. Just can't tell if I'm on the threads or not. That's the last one. Pop this guy on. You know, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I'm not an expert at retrobrighting, but I think that that looks pretty good. You know, here's my other one, and you be the judge. What do you think? This one's certainly a little glossier. You know, we could scuff this up a little bit just to try to get this matte finish back. But I don't know. I kind of like it. It shows that this controller does have a history, you know, that has been well used. But man, we have resumed. Let's stick some batteries in here and see first of all if it even turns on. Okay. Battery 1, battery 2. Hey, look at that. That's a good sign. Buttons all feel good. Time for the test. Moment of truth. Let's get our channel set. We are set to, where are we at? Channel 4 on here. Let's dial in 4 on our Wavebird. Okay. Let's go plug this in. Do we have connection? It's a good start. Oh, look at that. Both sticks work. What's on our memory card? A button works. Oh yeah. No memory card in there. Does F-Zero require us to have a memory card? Press start. So far all the buttons are working. We're going to have to try trigger buttons. Man, this has got to be the best version of F-Zero, isn't it? Made by Sega. Yeah, we don't need a memory card. Oh, yeah. This game gets me excited every time. Okay, here we go. We're just going to go Bach, just standard. Captain Falcon. Here we go. It's got to work. So far everything's working great. We haven't really got a chance to try the D-pad at all, but I think we got this thing licked. Let's see. Yeah, and it may just not. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Let's go. You just wait till you see how bad I am at this game. But it is... Some games it's fun even when you're losing. This is one of those games. Oh, it's so fast. Yep, that works. Triggers are working. How do we boost? I can't remember. Nope. Ah! I don't remember how to boost. Nope, that's brakes. Oh, we didn't have boost power. All right. Nope, it's not that. There it is. Whoa. Ah, I'm so bad at this game. Oh, it's lovely. Final lap. Here we go. Can I battle back? That is a good question. Go fast. I'm trying. We're on the easiest course, the easiest difficulty. Don't lose. You're missing the turbo boosts. Ha 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 ha. Alright, cool, man. Well, I think we got this thing licked. I think it turned out fantastic. Thank you to my nephews, Bryson and Brody, who sent this over for me to restore here on the channel. And this is a nice little controller, man. The Wavebird. The best way to play GameCube? I don't know. You don't get rumble with it, but you get wireless, and it is super duper sensitive. So... fantastic Nintendo controller. Thanks for watching. You know, if you like us fixing stuff up, feel free to give a like to the video. We do more stuff like this, so if you want to see more things repaired and put back into service, well, maybe give us a subscription here, and who knows what it's going to be next.